Welcome to Tarmac. I am Dave.
And I'm Matthew, and as you can see, it's a really nice day today, which is why we've got the top down on this, the new Mercedes-Benz E350 convertible.
That's right, it's E-Class, it's all class, and it's also got no top. Come, let's take a look at this. In the automotive world, there's not much better in styling when it comes to styling than the E-Class and in a coupe style. And on a day like today, when the sun's out and I don't know, summer fun's here, there's not much better than dropping the hood and just letting it all hang out. There's something you don't want to see, believe me. This is the revamped 350, and just look at it. It really is right into the Mercedes-Benz family, or the current styling look. The grille has got this diamond grille with the A-frame to it. There's plenty of garnish of chrome around, and you know, big Mercedes badges all over the place. But nice flat headlights here that are LEDs, and still some, actually these will be vented when you get to the AMG version. But look at it, what a nice shapely front to it, just like me. Round the side, our review model comes in this what's called Rubelite red. Don't ask me what it means, I have no idea. But actually one of my friends calls it, makes it sound like it looks like an angry aubergine. But the colour's actually really nice. It really is a standout. It's like a rich Merlot or something like that. That's probably more classy than crazy aubergine or something. Anyway, the wheels here are basically AMG 20 inches and very stylish with sort of drill discs and 4-piston brake calipers, so plenty of stopping power coming up. Slightly lighter on the back, but it does pull this up very nicely. And of course this roof does come up and down. I'll show you now. And also it will actually come up and down when you're moving. So if you are caught in, I think up to about 30 kilometers per hour, you can still put it up and down. It actually looks pretty cool. And also makes people go, what's going on? Anyway, not too much has gone on from the rear actually. It's still got a shapely behind, and we all like a shapely behind, obviously. The lights are now LEDs, and there's a lot that's gone on behind here. The exhausts are sort of semi-fake, but there's still some poking out through there. And also the reversing camera is in here, so this actual boot thing doubles as a reversing camera. I'll show you that now. It's actually not the biggest of boots as you'd expect, but there is a button here that actually gives you more once the roof is up. It actually gives you a little bit more room in here, but it's not too bad. It's enough for your shopping. Under the bonnet, now despite what Matthew and I have been arguing about earlier, this actually has a 2-litre turbo under here with an EQ 48 volt EQ boost. So together what it gives you is 220 kilowatts, 400 newtons or 400 Isaacs, depends which way you look at it. It does a 0 to 100 in 6.1 seconds and sips fuel at 7.8 litres per 100, all via a 9G order box that actually sends all the power to the rear wheel. So it's a nice rear wheel drive coupe or convertible, not bad at all. Now speaking of things that don't have much up top, Matthew's inside and he'll show you what's going on in there.
Now, I'm not sure what Dave was talking about, me being lightheaded. I mean, I had a haircut recently, but yeah, let's not go there anyway, even though I've had a pretty big shocker in terms of guessing what's under the bonnet of this car. But that's the thing, it's the surprise of it, this E-Class convertible. I mean, you hop inside here and you think, oh, this interior is going to get exposed to the elements, sun, rain, whatever. But that doesn't mean that Mercedes have compromised on quality anywhere. I mean, the top still leather, the seats are still leather, you've still got this open pore ash wood trim going through, and of course the nice shiny chrome speakers which are part of the Burmester audio package. Always a nice thing to have. The quality itself is typical Mercedes. I mean, everything you sort of try and shake and move around, well, nothing does, because it is Mercedes built. The obvious big thing in here, or the elephant in the room, and in fact it's not a room because there's no roof on it, and that convertible option is, you can play around with it using these switches down here. There's a secret trick though. So you've got switches for the windows and the roof and all that sort of stuff. But there's one button in here where if you press that, it doesn't actually do anything with the roof. In fact, it does this. Opens the center console. Inside there, you got plenty of space. You got USB charging points there. You got some in there, and of course, wireless charging for your phone. So it is practical. And if you can't store that much stuff in the boot, well, you've got plenty around the cabin to make up for it. And the other big updates with this new facelifted model are the fact that you now get Mercedes' MBUX system and of course the steering wheel with the haptic touch buttons. So let's take a closer look at those. So in front of you here you have this Mercedes AMG style biplane steering wheel. You've got the flat bottom on it, and of course it's leather wrapped and feels really nice to hold. Behind it here you've got paddle shifts as well. And of course all the buttons are haptic, so you just need to slide your fingers over them to get them to do things. That's pretty smart. As far as the buttons go, on the left side, all those controls there handle the central infotainment screen and your calls and phone connectivity. And then on the right, you flick through the screen in front of you, so you can change the dials if you want, change the displays, or even take a look at how your Mercedes EQ system is being utilized. So you can change what's being shown in the middle there just by flicking through this, and then move across, and then you can change how your display looks as well. So plenty of customization there. Same thing goes for the middle. Of course, you're familiar with Mercedes' MBUX system, so keep flicking through there. There's a special Burmester audio setting in there to turn on the extra power that the sound system gives you. Trust me, you want that turned on. So when you click into the comfort menu there, so if for some reason you are bored with this convertible, I don't know how you could be, you can turn on this thing called Seat Kinetics, and it adjusts the bolsters and the bottom and the backrest to basically fool you into guessing what's going to happen next. So it keeps moving things around, keeps you engaged, keeps you awake. It's just a really interesting feature with this car, but frankly, I don't see how you could get bored. So you may or may not need to resort to this. Speaking of the drive, well, that's not boring at all. So let's take it for a drive now and show you exactly why.
So the E350 convertible, or drop top, or open top, or depends which part of the world you're in. There's something about a convertible that just can't stop but put a smile on your face. They're so much fun, they're so exciting, they're so freeing, and look, there's no roof, there's no anything, it just goes straight up. And when you're in a Mercedes full of this class, full of its just opulence, and it's amazing. It's really cool.
It really has changed Dave today. I'm surprised rather that he's not wearing sunglasses or chewing gum, or thinking he's like 25 again.
Well, I've got my Hawaiian shirt on, so I'm getting there. And it is what it does. It just does take you back to years gone by, the sense of freedom when I had no kids and no mortgage or no responsibilities. I'm just free as a bird. It's lovely. Anyway, more on this vehicle. It has been upgraded. The E-Class, which we've done a few vids on, is just so technologically advanced and just exciting, just lovely.
That's true, and it's a really comfortable place to be in. Despite the fact that you can put the top down or up, you can still have a nice solid roof when the top is up. The interior feels like a proper Mercedes E-Class, and of course, despite the fact that they know on these summer days you're gonna have the roof down and you won't be able to hear the audio realistically, they still have given it the best sound system they can, so that's always nice.
We just have to turn it up, that's the thing. But when the roof is up, it's fully insulated. It's actually a very quiet place to be, considering there's only a few layers of canvas between you and the open world. It is actually quite insulated, or very well insulated.
And just as we have the roof down right now, so you can have the windows up as we do, and you can also lift up this additional kind of air channel thing, so it makes air travel above the car and then round to the back ensuring that there's no constant air blowing in your face and interfering with your talking or messing up your hair, more importantly. That's pretty important in a convertible. And
exactly.
And then of course, if you do get chilly, well, you can just turn on the air scarf, which is these two fans hidden behind the headrest there that project warm air onto your neck and head and keeping you warm, basically.
Yeah, absolutely toasty. You've got a really nice warm air scarf just cosseting you through, heated seats if you happen to be in the cold, and away you go. So it really, maybe you can drop the top in all weathers, just not rain. Actually, if it's dropped down in rain, I understand if you go fast enough, it doesn't touch you. Shh, don't tell anyone. Visibility wise, you know, it's epic. Once the roof's down, you can see everything. I can see my house from here. Of course, once the roof's up, it is slightly compromised because there are more thicker, particularly around the C-pillars and stuff like that, but it's not bad. And you've got blind spot, you've got 360 cameras, you've got everything going for you, giving you that extra bit of eyes anyway. And also autonomous braking or emergency autonomous braking for those areas when you may be just concentrating on the stereo, and it'll brake for you and keep you safe.
Tech-wise, it is actually really good. So you do get plenty of safety features, as Dave just pointed out. You get plenty to play with as well, the infotainment screen and the dashboard. And then of course the seats. Well, we already went over the air scarf, but then they're both front and passenger and driver are both electronically controlled. Everything right up to the headrest and the sort of calf rest at the bottom. So they are really comfortable, and the ride comfort in general is just of a top quality because it's not riding on very thick rubber, and it's actually on air suspension as well, but this road that we're on is pretty rough and you just can't feel it. And you know, my voice is not juddering, I'm not having to shout, despite the fact that the roof is down actually. And this is on AMG wheels, comfortable as ever.
Yeah, I reckon. And the power is something that actually surprised you. It's flicking into Sport and Sport Plus. The 2 litre, yes, it's 2 litre, is actually really peppy. It really picks up nicely. I mean, 220 kilowatts is not bad for a 4-pot, really.
When Dave first told me about what was under the bonnet there, I actually didn't believe him one bit. I had to go research it for myself, and I was just blown away by the fact that it's
You never trust me.
I mean, you're a man who's driving a convertible and wearing a Hawaiian shirt right now, so...
Fair play, fair point.
And I couldn't believe that it actually had a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine under the bonnet, because not just the way it pulls this car, which is obviously not a light car, as you can see from the leather and the wood, and of course the retractable roof.
And the driver.
And the drivers. But the fact is that when you are accelerating, it sounds so good. It just couldn't be a 2-litre 4-cylinder, but Mercedes have somehow done it. Well, hats off to them.
Yeah, I actually can't wait to see if we can get our hands on the AMG version, because that'll be epic.
Yeah.
The added bonus, because it's got the 48-volt EQ boost and the integrated start motor. Anyway, what it means is it will coast quite nicely. So once you let your foot off the accelerator, it will actually keep going and make sure that you get the most efficiency out of this 4-pot. And so it is really frugal. And of course, when you get to traffic lights or anything like that, it switches off and, you know, but instantly comes back on when you're ready to pull off. So you don't get anybody honking, apart from the fact that people want to say hello because you're in a convertible. Actually, on that point, there are people that just come alongside and try to interact with you because you're actually, there's no glass between you. People feel like they want to chat to you.
It doesn't just open up the sky to you, and as it turns out, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Love it. So there you have it, the Mercedes-Benz E350. It's fun, it's freedom fulfilling, and also just lavish and thrown so much tech at it. I love it. It really suits my free and fun-loving personality.
What do they say about life crises? Never mind, but certainly one thing that isn't having a crisis is this Mercedes, because it's just unbelievable on fuel and on power.
Yep, unlike us. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. There will be more coming up, and tell us what you want as well. Tell us other things you need on or want to see on the channel. See you next time.